Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to hop on that whole de-influencing train, and I'm going to be talking about products that I either bought and didn't think are worth the hype, or products that I won't be purchasing myself because I don't think they're worth the hype. These type of videos aren't very new. Like, I've seen tons of videos of people like products I regret purchasing, anti-hauls. This whole de-influencing train is just like another way of saying the same thing, but I do like this trend and idea because I think there's so much like focus on buying the new thing. You need this new product when in reality you don't. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I got a huge makeup collection, but as I've gotten older I have tried to be more mindful about what I'm purchasing, because I got a bunch of eyeshadow palettes, and how often do I wear eyeshadow anymore? Not that much. So yeah, I got 8 products today. 4 of them are products that I've purchased and I'm not a huge fan of, and then 4 of them are products that I just don't think I would want to purchase. I don't think they're necessary. So let's get into it. Okay, first, starting off strong, I actually have 2 Charlotte Tilbury products. I think they're kind of one of the big it brands right now, and while there are products that I love them from the brand, I love the Hollywood Flawless filter, and I also love their Pillow Talk lipstick, but I got 2 products from them that I'm not a huge fan of. Starting off strong, we have got the Beauty Highlight Wands. I know these have been big for a while. I forget which celebrity blew them up, but they're like these guys type of thing. So I saw everyone talk about them, and then one day my friend and I were in Sephora and I saw that they actually had one in stock. I didn't even sit to think, oh, is this a product that I'll actually enjoy? I just saw everyone hyping it up online and I was like, yeah, there's one, let me grab it. So I have the shade pink. No, I have Peachgasm. Oh, I thought I had Pinkgasm. Either way, doesn't matter. I'm not a huge fan of it. The pink and the Peachgasm, a lot of people are using these as kind of like a very dewy blush, but you could also use it as a highlight. I think they technically are meant as highlighters. High blush is what they call it. I think it's way too sheer to be a blush. I have to apply so much product to get any sort of actual pigmentation on my face. I also find that it really emphasizes any pores that I have. I don't mind a blush that has a little bit of glow to it, but this is like basically just like a blush tone highlight, so all of my pores are emphasized whenever I wear it, which is not necessarily a good look if you ask me. It's also a little too dark to be a highlight because it is like a peach tone highlight. So I find that whenever I wear it just on the high points of my face, you can almost see like a line or like a stripe on my face. So I kind of try and use it like a blush topper, but I don't know, the amount of times that I reach for this are very minimal, so I don't think it was worth the money at all for me. I'm also not a huge fan of the packaging, but I think a lot of people who are even fans of this blush kind of agree that it's kind of annoying because you gotta like twist it and then like push it, and then I just feel like I'm never getting the correct amount of product. I'm just not a huge fan of these. I know they just released some like matte versions, but honestly, just not interested because I didn't really enjoy these that much. I just don't think they're worth it. I think there's better products out there. I just don't think this particular product just really works for me and my face and what I like to put on my face. So for this reason, I think this is overhyped and not worth it. Okay, the second product I don't have because I did finish it and I didn't like it enough to repurchase, but it is a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Spray. Now this I did think I was gonna like, just because what it's meant is kind of up my alley. It's supposed to be like a very long lasting setting spray, something that like locks your face makeup in, and that's something I definitely like in a setting spray since I have very oily skin. I like something that kind of keeps everything in place while still looking really nice. So some of the things that I mentioned in my empties post when I talked about it once I finished it is that I didn't really notice a difference in the longevity of my makeup wearing it versus not wearing it. I didn't think it made any difference versus like I do have setting sprays that I do think help the longevity of my makeup. It has a very strong floral scent, which I just found very annoying. Like, I just find that it kind of like got in my nose and I just didn't like the scent of it whatsoever. And then I don't know if this is because I got a mini of it, not the full size, but I found that the one that I had, the nozzle was constantly getting clogged and it would disperse a bunch of like big water droplets all over my face, which is, you don't want that, because a setting spray, you want it to be a very fine, even mist. When you get big globs of it, it will kind of like smudge your makeup and ruin it. So I found that really annoying because, you know, I want a good setting spray and the nozzle just didn't work. But like I said, that might be because I have the mini setting spray. It's funny because I see a lot of people say that the Milani Make It Last is a dupe for that setting spray. I do have it, and I wouldn't say it's a dupe at all. I think this is so much better. I find that the mister actually works well. It doesn't have that like really bad floral scent, and it actually does make a difference in my makeup. It doesn't make it matte, but it kind of just like sets everything into place. I don't know, I really do like the setting spray. I don't think you need the Charlotte Tilbury one. I think you could just get this one, and it's from the drugstore. So yeah. Okay, another product that I don't actually have because I did declutter them. These are the Revlon Glass Shine Luster lipsticks. I forget the actual name. Here we go. The Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine Moisturizing Lipsticks. Those. So I actually had bought this quite a bit ago. I think it might have been during the beginning of the pandemic that I bought them. Just because when they first launched, Elena Davidson was like really hyping them up. So I bought this shade that she loved. And that might have been the issue, is that I didn't like the shade that I got. It was Beaming Strawberry, which is like a bright cool tone pink, which is usually not my jam. So it might have been because of the shade that I got that made me not like them. But basically, they're supposed to be like a really creamy, shiny lipstick. But the reason why I didn't really like them is that because it was this cool tone pink shade, which can be nice, but the issue I find is that I don't have cool tone pink lips. So because they were kind of like a little bit sheer, whenever I applied them to my lips, the pigmentation was sitting on top of my lips, but you could see my natural lip color peeking through, but it also was not an even consistency. So the pigment would kind of like clump on any dry patches that I had on my lips. So it's just not a good look. Like, you could see my lip through it, but then there would be like patches of like really bright, like cool tone pink. So it just didn't look good. Like, simply put, maybe if I had gotten something that matched my natural lip shade better, maybe it would look good. But also, like, what if I wanted a nice cool tone lip? I would hope that it would still look good, right? Like, if I wanted like a sheer glossy lip formula, I'd rather go with like a lip oil that's like actually hydrating, because those weren't very hydrating either. Like, I'm wearing the Merit lip oil right now and it's so nice. It's hydrating. It's like kind of sheer, but maybe just because the shade matches my lip color so it looks good. I don't know. I just wasn't a huge fan. I see a lot of people talking about them and I didn't enjoy them. I don't think they're necessarily worth it. I think there's nicer lip products out there. So one product that I don't think is worth it either is the Morphe brushes. I just have 3 here, but I have a bunch of other ones as well. I've gotten rid of some as well. I think like everyone who got into the makeup community around 2006, I was kind of super into Morphe brushes because here is this affordable brush brand that is like more easily accessible. And since I was getting into makeup at the time, I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg to get brushes, but I needed to get brushes. So I bought a bunch of Morphe brushes. I just find that the quality is really hit or miss. Like, I do have one foundation brush that I absolutely love and I still use to this day, but then I have like a bunch of brushes that I don't really like, and I find that just over time they have not held up. Like, I think you can see, so these are like all, I think they're all natural hair. They're very scraggly and scratchy, specifically the eye ones. I find that sometimes it almost like hurts to be blending so close to my eye just because they're not soft. They just didn't really last well over time, which, like, I get it. They're a cheap makeup brush. I don't think it was worth it. I have this like Luxie brush that I've had almost the same amount of time that I've had this one, and just look at the difference in quality. This one has held up its shape so much more. It's still so soft and does such a good job of blending. So yeah, I think now that I've gotten older, I've realized that it's better to invest in better brushes because they're gonna last you years. Like I got these brushes back in 2016 and the good ones are still holding up strong and still working well. So I guess if I have any piece of advice for you, I know the whole entire idea is like de-influence, like telling you that you don't need to buy these things, but instead I'm telling you if there's one thing you should spend your money on, it's good brushes because they're gonna last you a really, really long time. Versus if you get crappy brushes, then they just suck. And then they don't perform as well. They don't apply your makeup as well. I also have this like bronzer brush that literally every single time I use it, it just sheds. It gets like pieces of hair all over my face. I don't think Morphe brushes are worth it. If you want a good like mid-range priced makeup brush, I would say the Sephora collection brushes are really good. I've got a couple of them in my collection and they've lasted really long and they're not as expensive as some of the like higher end ones. Real Techniques is also a pretty good affordable brush brand as well. Now moving into products that I will not be purchasing. For one reason or other, I just don't think it's worth it. So one, I see a lot of people hyping up their Rare Beauty new highlighters. And it's so funny because they're powder highlighters. And I feel like for quite a bit now, everyone's just been like, cream, cream, cream. So now there's these powder highlights on the market and everyone's like, oh my god, this is the new best highlight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've got so many powder highlights in my drawer that I haven't reached for barely in the last like 2-ish years. Like I've reached for them maybe like once a month or something like that. And I got a solid amount. How many do I got? 7 or 8 like compacts, and that's not including like any like palettes that I have that have like highlighters in them. Yeah, I got so many powder highlights that I barely reach for. So I don't see the point in me going out and getting another powder highlight. And that's not to say that I think the Rare Beauty one is bad, but I think this product is me kind of saying like, look at your makeup collection and see what you have a lot of and what you actually need and assess yourself before buying something, right? So for me, I got a bunch of powder highlights. I don't use a lot of powder highlights, so does it make sense for me to buy another powder highlight? No. But on the flip side, I have a lot of cream blushes, but I use my cream blushes a lot. I'm really into them right now. So for that reason, it wouldn't be that bad for me to buy a new cream blush type of thing. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I don't think I need any more in my makeup collection, and I can probably bet that most of these beauty influencers who are like, oh my god, this powder highlight is so good, probably have other powder highlights in their collection that are probably just as good. Okay, next, I need to put my stance here on YouTube because I think I've ranted about this before on my blog, but expensive eye creams I don't think are worth it. I have yet to find an eye cream that has made a difference. I've tested out a lot of eye creams because I often get them in my BoxyCharm, so I get sent like really expensive ones, which I'm not complaining about. I'm not complaining about getting the eye creams because then I don't have to go out and buy the eye creams myself. Or I also will often use some of my points to get eye creams because they're often like 100 points at Sephora. So I've tested a lot of like higher end eye creams. And like I said, I've yet to find one that has made a significant difference in my under eyes. I do think eye creams are worth it in the sense that the area underneath your eyes is a lot more sensitive than the rest of your face. So it is good to have something that is meant for that area. But I don't think it's worth it to necessarily buy something super expensive because all these eye creams like claim to depuff your eyes or lessen your dark circles or help with your fine lines. I've yet to try one that has made a difference. I think it is good to invest in good skincare. Like, trust me, a good cleanser, I've noticed a difference. A good vitamin C, oh my god, a good vitamin C has gotten rid of so much of my acne scarring. A good mask will help clear up your pores, but a good eye cream, I've yet to find one that has made the difference. If I ever find one, I will tell you and shout it from the heavens, but at this point, I do not think it's worth buying a lot of money for an eye cream. I think you could probably get one at the drugstore that is formulated for the eyes, but still, you know, not a lot of money. I don't think that's one area you need to invest in. Another thing I will not be spending any money on is those devices, thingies to do heatless curls. I know some people are using just like a bathrobe or your leggings, and I think that's totally fine. I think that's great. You're using things in your house and reusing instead of spending your money. But I have seen also those like kits that will literally sell the like foam thing to do the heatless curls. You will never see me buy one of those. First, I've tried the robe hack and the legging hack, and they just don't work well for me in the sense that I'm a side sleeper. I like to sleep on my side. So whenever you have those things, I never ever have a good night's sleep. And to me, having heatless curls is not worth ruining my sleep. I love my sleep, okay? I also move around a lot, so I find that they often like don't stay or fall out of my hair, so therefore they're not as effective. And also I find that my hair just kind of struggles to hold a curl sometimes. Like even my own natural curls, they'll look great the first day and then they fall out the next day. Even if I use heat, sometimes my hair will fall out quickly. So whenever I've tried those heatless curls, they look good for a few hours and then they fall out of my hair. So I'm like, it's not worth all of the time and energy and especially money to buy something for something that just won't last. That's just my 2 cents. If your hair works well with it, I think that's great, but I do think it's just better to use things that you already have. I think everyone has a pair of leggings. A lot of people have like bathrobe things. That's just my 2 cents. I will never be buying one of those. And the final thing that I'll probably never purchase myself with my own money is a Dyson hairdryer or Airwrap. No, you will not see me, especially in Canada with the inflation. It is now $750 for a Dyson Airwrap. I am not spending that amount of money. First of all, I think it really just depends on your styling habits, whether or not it's worth it. If you're someone who like blows out your hair once a week or like more than that, sure, maybe your cost per use will make it more worth it. For me personally, I don't heat style my hair that often, maybe once a month, give or take. Some months I go out more, so I style my hair more. Other months I don't, so I don't style my hair as much, but still not that often. I just prefer to wear my hair natural most of the time, so my cost per wear would not be a lot. Even when I wear my hair curly, a lot of the time I'm too lazy to even diffuse my hair, so it's not even like, oh, I can use a diffuser attachment. Like I have a blow dryer that works well and this is the job done, so I don't necessarily see the point of me going out and buying this really expensive thing. I also think the other thing too is like it takes a lot of time to be able to do it yourself. I don't even know if I could do a good job myself. Like for $750, I could go to like one of those blow dry hair bars and get it done. Like I looked and the one like close to me is around like $50 for a blowout. So I could go 15 times and get someone else to blow out my hair instead of me doing it myself, instead of buying a Dyson Airwrap. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it that way, I'd rather get someone else to do it who's actually trained and knows how to do a blowout than me and try and do it myself with a really expensive thing. That's just like my 2 cents about it. Yeah, I guess you could say, well, then you have to go out and like pay someone and tip them, but still, time, you know, is money, and I'm not very good at blowing out my hair either. I do have like the Revlon blowout thing. It usually takes me 45 minutes to be able to blow dry my own hair. That was when it was longer, to be fair. I've not tried doing a blowout on my shorter hair, so probably would be faster. But yeah, I just don't think it's worth the money. I think if you are interested in that type of product, there's now more affordable options on the market. Like I know Shark has one that is a lot cheaper but very, very similar. Revlon has their blow dry brush, so if you like that attachment you could get that. Or even just if you're interested in the Dyson, there's so many other blow dryers that are cheaper. So I just don't think it's worth it. If you have one and you love it, I'm so happy for you, but I am too broke to ever spend my money on something that I will not use a lot. So that is my thoughts on all of these products. If you guys like these products, I am so happy for you that you found something that works, that you enjoy. At the end of the day, your money is your money to spend how you see fit. These are just my opinions, and These are my reasons for why I would not be spending my money on these products, or why I regret spending my money on these products. Let me know if you guys enjoy this type of video. Maybe I can do a part 2. Let me know if you agree with any of what I said about these products. We can have a little discussion in the comments. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's videos. Please like this video if you want to see more makeup related content from me, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos. That is it, and I'll see you in another one super soon. Bye!